Hello and welcome to Own Your Divine Light Show. I'm Janet Miller and I invite you to listen to the quantum world of spiritual visionary Peter Schenk, who is called many things: a healer, an energy, a unique, a super seer. He is an amazing healer who has helped so many people with his laser precise vision that people's lives are changed. As someone says, Peter Schenk cannot be contained. And I love that because you're a dynamo, Peter. Thank you. It's an honor for me to have you here, Peter. Thank you so much. And your story is very exciting. So I'd love you to start with your story and how it all began, and because it's a good one. It's a good story. People need to hear.
First of all, thank you for having me. I understand this is your first show.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make it a memorable one.
Thank you.
So typically what I like to do when I start off with a new crowd is bless a glass of water. This is the hallmark of what I've been doing forever. Water that is in, or any energy that's in physical or non-physical form, will do absolutely anything for you as long as you acknowledge its existence. That's the highest form of gratitude that you can show in human form to any energy that's in physical form and non-physical form. And once you've achieved that with water, you can program it to do absolutely anything for you. So what I'd like everyone to do is raise their left hand about 3 inches over the glass of water.
All right, I hope people have a glass ready. So let's just give them a minute. Maybe they want to grab it. Let's give them a couple minutes. You want to get yourself a glass of water. Peter's going to do this beautiful blessing, and you're going to see.
So once your hand is up over the water, you'll start to feel the energy run down through your hand. It's just universal energy. It's just consciously directed into the water. Once you start to feel it, now when it's moving through your hand, it can feel like straight up a lightning bolt. It can feel like pinpricklies. It can feel like heat. It can feel like anything. Once you know it's running through your hand, put your attention on the water itself and repeat 8 magical words. I honor the space in which you exist.
I honor the space in which you exist.
Put your attention back on the water, and what you'll feel is the energy now moving faster through your hand into the water. That's it there about 10 or 15 seconds, and then drink as much as you want. This is just a goodwill blessing to kind of kick off the show, set the tone, set the mood for, a wonderful time to come.
Cheers, L'chaim, whatever one you want to say.
Absolutely. That's a good one. All right. So where are we? Where are we going?
So just talking about your story to start, just wanted you to start the beginning. And how did you awaken into all of what you're into now?
So, I had my wake up experience. I'm now 50. I had it around 34, 33, 34. So it's been 16, 17 years. I kind of have evolved the business and what I do today into what I am today. Prior to that, and about another 10 years forward from there, I worked for one of the world's largest banks on Wall Street for my entire career in technology. So in essence, I was really in one of the most stressful places on the planet. While about halfway through my tenure, about 10 years into that endeavor, I had this wake-up experience. And, how do you describe it? It was a Saturday, a Friday, I don't remember. I was doing some work at home on my computer, and at the speed of thought, I was this person. The next microsecond, I was this new being endowed with this crazy tool chest. And I didn't understand what was happening to me because prior to that experience, if you had asked me, what unconditional love of self was, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
What's discernment? What's gratitude? What's humility? I have no idea. I was all about making money, keeping up with the Joneses. I didn't care about my neighbors. I had very few friends, and it was just about my family. And if you ask me about anything spiritual, I said, what is that? A new flavor of ice cream or something? I mean, that's about you know, I would think of like, you know, hippie communes, you know,
Yeah.
peace, love, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, peace, pot, and frisbee, whatever. That was me prior to that experience. After that experience, I was thrusted into the forefront of energy mechanics.
Mm.
Okay, my whole background is in engineering, so I really have an analytical mind that can look at, you know, complicated equations, break them down into simpler equations, thereby solving the whole. In this new metaphysical mind after my wake up experience, I had no control over anything, and it
Wow.
was scary.
Mm.
And I had literally thought for the first 6 weeks after my wake up experience that I had gone insane.
Mm.
I said, this is it. You know what? This is my midlife breakdown. I am now certifiably crazy. Why? Because I see dead people, because I see energy, because
Wow.
I see things that aren't there. I see things fall from the ceiling, look this way, walk through a doorway that's just not there. And it was getting more intense. The
Mm.
more I embraced it, the more intense it was becoming, the scarier it was becoming. And after about 6 weeks, I really had to make a choice.
That's
Am
a
I going to? I was still existing as a father,
wow.
as you know, as you know, as a professional working on Wall Street, you know, and all of this. But the one thing that kept me going was the fact that had I gone insane, I was fucking better off being this new person than where I came from. Why? Because I was having fun for the first time in my life. I
Wow.
was really, truly having fun because I very quickly learned that if I put my intention on these energies, they wanted to play with me and they would teach me stuff. So after about 6 months of playing, I started seeking out like-minded people. And the first crowd I ran into was a New Age and Love crowd. I completely got turned off. And that's when my ego kicked in and inflated 1,600%. I started, you know, doing energy sessions with people. I was all over the roadmap, blah, 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 and then boom, my ego popped. I
Ah.
deflated and I crashed and I burned. I didn't die horribly, but it was a learning experience unlike anything I've ever had in my life. And
Mm.
that is the point by which I truly understood that I had to unlearn everything I had ever learned for the real learning to begin. And only in that balance, that state of mind, in the experience is where you learn. We've all had experiences in our life that you absolutely cannot explain. But
Yeah.
in there, in your mind, you learn something from it. And in that time by which I crashed and burned, I learned. I learned how to love myself. I learned how to love others. I understood what unconditional love of self was. I knew what humility was. I knew what discernment was. I knew what gratitude was. And I don't know how I knew where it was. I just knew what it was. So what had essentially happened to me was it was my time to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is my theory, kind of what's going on here. There are advanced teams of humans being put in place
Mm-hmm.
all across the world, different backgrounds, blah, blah, blah. A large percentage of us have technical backgrounds for one reason or another. I don't know. And they are here as a forefront team to teach others about the coming changes. Now, there something is coming. Okay, there's changes coming. There's no
Oh,
doubt that I know absolute. The person that tells you they know what's happening,
yep.
simply walk
Yep.
away from, because believe me, I've spent 17 years at the bottom of the rabbit hole and going deeper than probably most humans ever have, and I still don't know what's going to happen. But I do know this: something's going to happen, and these advanced teams being put in place are here for this, that. So I use myself kind of as that role model. I was, you know, Major Dick one day, you know, New Asian Love guru the next day. I mean, that's just how it happened. So, you know, over the last 16, 17 years, I have learned this just massive amount of information, which today I process under four pillars under the auspice of modern day mystic, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first pillar is energy sessions that I do with people. They're one-on-one. They're very laser focused. You know, we go in, I pinpoint exactly what's up. You might come to me and say, okay, you know, this is what's going on. And then once I listen and then we do a little bit of energy work, that story kind of changes and we move on. Okay. Second type, I do workshops. I have dozens of workshops I've done over the years, okay, of which I believe you just experienced one of them. And the workshops are, you know, are live and then they're recorded. They go up on the website and they are unlike anything you've ever experienced. I can truly say that because there's no one out there doing anything close to what I have accomplished years ago and where I'm going to be going. The second one is a line of software which modifies the structure of water based on intention, based on things you want to bring into fruition. And there's 4 or 5 products there which have evolved. They're in their 5th generation and they are due for another update sometime probably in late 2019.
Okay.
And as of late, in the last 3 years, I have gotten into the physical product line. And I have created a few different product lines which typically sell out within hours of me launching a product. Why? Because, you know, I have achieved 1,000 written and video testimonials on my website to the effects of what I do. Now think about that for a second.
I know, it's huge.
1,000 written and video testimonials. People that are just so passionate about what I deliver that they feel that they need an outlet. And of course I ask them to share that with the world and whoever else is attracted to what I do. Now, you know, we just completed the survey in the beginning of 2019, which asked 39 questions. And I sent them out to my tribe and I got back a couple hundred responses. And there's a couple things on there which really, really blew my mind. One, we have achieved a 90% high customer satisfaction. Okay.
Fantastic.
75% high, the other 15 was somewhat high. Okay, so say 80 to 90% customer satisfaction. Think about that for a second. Okay.
Pretty amazing. Yeah.
What companies in the world deliver an 80 to 90% customer satisfaction? I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I did it in 2018. Okay. 85% of the people that took the survey said that MDM products are of the highest quality. Okay. Meaning the physical product line, you know, maybe it's a presentation in the workshops, maybe it's one-on-one sessions, maybe it's the software, but the physical product line, and this is a product which is not out in the market yet, but this is called the HFA Orion. And this is the 4th lineup in the harmonic field amplifier line. And this is just the packaging that it comes in. And you'll notice that I don't, you know, I am a product of Apple. I don't skip on anything. And inside, you'll find this guy, and this is, I'll show this to you quickly. And I'll talk about all this, but this is the newest in the lineup. This is the HFA Orion. Okay. This is a device that once activated, it will automatically bring your highest level intentions and affirmation, speed and agility into your life.
I can almost feel it. I can almost feel the energy just by you holding it.
Yeah.
I could just feel like a fresh air going through my body as you held that up.
Absolutely. And you know, ultimately, you know, my whole take on everything was to take this spirituality outlet, take this new age and love outlet and shatter it in every facet that I possibly can, through products never before seen, through new teachings, through simplicity, through stuff that's just mind-blowing, that's effective, that's beautiful, you know. And there's so many things that I have my fingers in. To date on my YouTube channel, I have delivered 90 body geometries. They're absolutely free to you. Okay, and body geometries are very simple hand movements that bring about changes in the body.
I know. I did one yesterday. I think I was sharing with you. I did the abundance, and it was so incredible. Of course, I had to practice it about 3 times, like you suggested. It really did make a difference. And then all of a sudden, I've had this cold for like 2 weeks. My whole head cleared up, and I was amazed. I said, wow, this is really working. And of course, you said, don't put an intention into it. Whatever the universe is going to bring you will come through. So I kept it wide open and, thought about an ocean and just didn't have anything in my mind except an ocean view. And boom, I just couldn't believe the change in my body.
Oh, absolutely. And, so what has been achieved to date? I've done 30 something product launches in the last 36 months. 30 something product launches. Okay.
And prolific.
There's no end in sight. We're in Q1 of 2019.
Yeah.
We have 3 workshops on the way. We have 2 product launches on the way with another handful of products in the development stage for 2019. And, I love what I do so much. It comes across it really came across in the 2019 survey. And pretty soon, all of those results will be presented on the MDM website. Because why? Because I'm very, very proud to have achieved that. And I learned some absolutely mission critical stuff in that survey. So for instance, I was shocked because I spend a lot of time, I spend a lot of money on the delivery mechanism, how to use a product, how simple it is to use a product, and how to maximize your results through the simplicity, which actually equates into a little bit of work on your part. And a lot of people said that they didn't know how to use some of the products. So, okay, so I took that a little personally, and then I said, all right, well, I'm not going to let that get me down. I'm going to turn this into action and do something positive with it. So starting in a couple weeks, I'm going to have a workshop around every single product I have. It'll be a 1-hour interactive workshop that you can dial into if you want to. And I'm going to talk about how the product works for 20 minutes. And I'm going to open up the phone lines, and you can get down and dirty with me and ask me anything you want. And because I created it, there's absolutely nothing I don't know. Or if it's something that I haven't experienced that maybe you have, I can give you a little bit of edge on where to go with that.
I think, it's so groundbreaking that people can't believe what it really does, and they need to be with the maker to see, okay, we want to hear from your mouth what's going on. How does this really work? I think it just gives them that validation and that security to hear it from you and watch what you do, because then they know, okay, now I know what's going on. Because
another product line, which actually took about 18 months to come into fruition, was the I Am.
I saw those. They're beautiful.
Okay, this particular one is the I Am Presence, and these are made from the purest copper and silver, commercially available. And when you look at this particular, okay, so let's say you go into maybe Macy's, Nordstrom, any of these, or even boutique shops that have these little
bracelets,
tchotchke plastic,
nothing special.
Mantra bands, and maybe they are as copper or something or other. Okay, they don't vibrate on any level. Okay, and the mantras that accompany the true name, which is the symbol that is on here, accompanied by the actual name, and then the way the bracelet uniformly moves energy through it and uses the copper to attract and the silver to create and stabilize the field.
Okay.
Is absolute perfection on every level. And just by wearing one of these in the presence of the other ones, you'll just feel the energy being drawn out of here to the other one. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. But when I release a new product, okay, this is actually the first product that I I'm excited for all of my children that I create, okay? But this particular one absolutely blew my mind, and I did a couple videos around it just because I wanted to tell people what was going on. Typically what I do is I get a bunch of samples in, and I pass those out to people to test. And I allow them to come back to me and say, because I could say the device is going to do anything, but who's going to believe me? What they are going to believe are people like you that have had real world experiences, what you're experiencing. And, and that then translates into, that 1,000 written and video testimonials that I've talked about. I am damn proud of those. And I use those like candy and wherever I go, because it's something that I've worked so hard to achieve. And, where we're going today, or where we've come from is kind of a testament to where we're going in the future. And right now, we are in virgin territory. We are moving forward with, products and services that no one has ever seen before, and delivering very real world, measurable, sorry, am I vibrating too high for you? There you go. Very real world, measurable, intangible results. And, it all came out in the 2019 survey, and those are amazing facts. I really learned a tremendous amount of information about my tribe that I never knew. And I thought I knew it all. So, so if you go to the moderndaymystic.com website, you're going to find an absolutely state-of-the-art, beautiful website. And that is really the forefront or the nexus of everything I do today. And all the products are on there. All the information that's coming is right on the homepage. I give away a tremendous amount of free stuff in the forms of free workshops. All of the software has 7-day free trial downloads. We do free workshops throughout the year. On my YouTube channel, I do what we call MDM minutes, where every day, every other day, I get out a video out into the world.
Yeah, those are great. I love them.
I just talk about. I take. So I had my own show for 2 years. It was called the MDM Show, and me and my co-host Donna Whittington, sorry, we interviewed 100 people, and some of these were very astute people, amazing individuals, and some were a little bit not so astute. And what I found through interviewing was that when the person being interviewed doesn't know what they're talking about, they use a lot of terminology that they don't know what it means, to confuse the crowd. And once the crowd is confused, then they can say whatever they want, because it's kind of like the king that wasn't wearing any clothes, but he would say you're stupid if you can't see his clothes, right? So I've had people saying we're going to the 8th, 9th, and 10th dimension. Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. Because you don't know what you're talking about. So what I've learned in a long time ago in bringing products to market that are the stuff that science fiction books are written about, is to present them in a light that doesn't make the user feel stupid. It makes them feel loved. It makes them feel important and empowered to be using whatever they choose to use in a way that will move them. And ultimately, I have one goal, right? And that is to take a person that is stuck in a life of fear and muck and move them into a loving world. And that's what I'm here to do. And I want to do it in a way that takes all of the fantasia, all of the, dogma out of spirituality, because spirituality at its core is very, very simple. It's just being really in tune with yourself and your surroundings. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
that's it. And of course, it goes a little bit beyond that. But you know, for years, so I am constantly evolving and work in learning, right? And this is proof positive in this statement. For years, on shows that I've done, podcasts, YouTube videos, shows that I've done, I've poked fun. I've always said, crystals, kumbaya, candles, pretty waterfalls, whatever, right? Last year, I released 5 products with crystals.
Right. I was going to say crystals are pretty amazing. So that
Exactly.
one, you learned about that one. Yeah.
But I never, because, so my point is, I am constantly evolving,
Which
but
is
only when I'm ready to accept the truth about something will it be presented in a way that I can actually utilize it and incorporate whatever the magic it brings into, what I'm doing and where I'm going.
well, you're a skeptic until you get the proof that this is something important to bring through, and then you're gifted with this new information. Okay, you have to put this in now. So it's kind of the universe teaching you as you're going along. You're learning, as we all learn, we have to, and you're doing it in your amazing devices.
I'm constantly evolving and constantly learning. And believe me, I always put my foot in my mouth. If there's anyone that's going to fall over and get banged up and get back up and move forward, it's me. I screw up 5 times a day.
I think most of us do, but at least you're owning it.
But I learn 11 things a day.
Good.
You
Well,
know,
it's a journey.
it is. And the testament of what I've done to where we've achieved, what we've achieved today to where we're going tomorrow, I have no idea. All I can say is I can't ever imagine doing anything else in life than
Which is a beautiful thing.
just helping people through products and services unlike anything they've ever seen before. And, my goals are very, very clear. I will be number 1 in this field. And I will be the Amazon in the metaphysical world. Those are 2 very large goals that I have set forth. And, again, if you look at the customer data, 40 to 50% of my customers never knew about me in 2017. So whatever formula, we're cooking up and using, it's working because we're growing by leaps and bounds. And a lot of that is, the quality of the products that are being delivered.
I think that's the most attractive. The quality of the product is so good that, you can't help but say, okay, he takes a lot of pride in what he's doing and he's putting it out in such a beautiful package. And then, of course, the result is, it just seals the deal. They know, they learn, they're realizing this is really changing their lives, because you're definitely changing people's, their lives with all these different, I hear the testimonies, they're huge. And it's a big system. It's a huge system, and you're bringing it through. I mean, I called you the modern day Merlin the first time we talked. I thought you were just, wow. I mean, I don't know if you ever got any feedback on Merlin, but you must have had some of his genes in there or some kind of ancestry.
I was actually called that again today. That was interesting.
I love it. Because your MDM, modern day Merlin, and modern day Mystic, it's, hand in hand there.
It was also interesting too. We had another testimonial come in on the Terra Resonator line. Someone had a broken iPod that wouldn't work anymore. They put it on the Terra Resonator for 24 hours, and 7 months later, it's still working.
Really? That's one of the devices I'm not clear on. So I'd love you to talk a little about that one, just to give us a little.
Last year, I released in the Q1 and Q2 of 2018. I released 4 products. I went from an idea in my head to a prototype in 30 days, to the MDM store in 60 days. And basically, the Terra Resonator line was the first line of products that used any type of crystals. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to create, originally it was like a charging plate. I wanted to create something that would draw up earth energy, excite some different crystals, channel that energy underneath some type of plate. And that plate turned out to be lab grown quartz crystal.
Hmm.
And people asked me, well, why don't you just use natural quartz? And, I've always told people that crystals contain the memories of everywhere they've ever been. And for this particular project, I wanted virgin quartz crystal, lab grown quartz crystals explicitly. So the TR line comes in 4 different products. We have the TR Mini, which comes with a 2-inch by 2-inch charging plate.
Okay.
We have the TR Midline, which comes with a 5x5. We have the TR Plus, which comes with an 8x8. And then we have this just huge, over-the-top, totally opulent TRXL, which has a 12x12, uses a lot of different stones. So the basis for it are really 3 stones, right? We use moldavite, which is, in my opinion, the strongest stone out there, hands down.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
it have meteor in it, meteorite energy.
Meteorite. I'm not going to go into what my opinion on it is, but
it's
the consensus is that it's meteorite energy. One of the facts is that I've learned is that 90% of the moldavite on the market is fake. It's glass. So I was lucky enough to secure a supplier that goes straight to the Czech Republic. So I never had a problem with that. So moldavite is one of them. Jet, which is really the centerpiece underneath the quartz crystal, is organic matter compressed over time. It's beautiful. It's black. It looks like marble. And then, of course, the quartz crystal plate sits up top. Now, with that comes what we call the true names of earth, air, water, and fire. So everything in existence has a true name, okay? And if you can extrapolate what the true name of something is, you can actually use it for the betterment of yourself and others, okay? And that can come in the form of a symbol, a spoken word, a color, an octave, all kinds of things. And I extrapolated the 4 true symbols for earth, air, water, and fire, and they surround it. There's beautiful energy channels that come up through the wood composite and fall into it that allow all that energy to do all kinds of neat things. And ultimately, what you use it for is whatever you place on top of it, it raises the vibration. If you put a plate of food on it, it tastes 100% better. If you put a cup of coffee on there, if you put coffee beans on there, if you put supplements on there, if you put your dessert on there, it's just mind-blowing. Then a byproduct of it is manifestation, and this is one of the key selling elements to it, bringing things into fruition that you desire. So in a bunch of different videos, I teach people how to write down things that they want to bring into fruition. They just simply place it on top of the TR, and magic starts to happen. These things just come into fruition for people, and it's like an art form. The more love you show something, the more you immerse yourself in the experience, the faster it's going to come into fruition. You just can't go, oh, I like that red Ferrari. It doesn't work like that. You have to work for it, and you have to create it in your head. That's how you manipulate your reality. So
well, we are creators. I mean, that's the one thing I've learned. We totally create our reality. We have, whatever it's manifestation, creation, we do it ourselves.
Absolutely. And your environment mimics what you put out.
Yeah.
So if you go to bed with a nasty thought, you know what? Your dreams are going to mirror that nasty thought. If you wake up with a beautiful whatever, your day is going to be amazing. Yes. Your environment mimics what you put out. You create your realities as you move through it, for sure.
Yep.
So the TR line has been very successful in delivering, raising the vibration of pretty much anything you put on it, and ultimately, delivering manifestations for people.
That's fantastic. So when you get these ideas, how do they come through for you? Like, does it just sort of pop like an idea, like you're all of a sudden on fire with this thing? How does it work?
This is all earned. This is all respect. Okay. You don't get ideas like this if you haven't earned respect.
Okay.
when you exist and play in these higher octaves, you command a great deal of respect from the universe, okay? And you get there through hard work. And that's a great question, by the way. People ask me, well, how can I get started? It's easy. It's so easy. You smile at somebody. You compliment somebody. You get involved with something that ultimately spreads a little bit of love and light in the world, okay? And what happens is the universe takes notice and goes, ooh, this guy, man, this woman, whoever, they're up and coming. And they're going to deliver a piece of information to you. And what you do with that bit of information determines if you move to the next octave. So, you know, in my case, everything is a learning cycle. They pull me, I push them, they, you know, I pull them, they push me. I mean, it's this constant evolving cycle. And it's
Cyclical.
It's cyclical, right? So, you know, years ago, we were pushing the envelope with, you know, with learning about 0-point technology, and none of the experiments were really successful, but the information that we learned years ago was actually used in product lines. What do you think these spirals are for? These are 0-point spirals, right? So what is 0-point energy? Well, one thing that I learned is that there is an infinite amount of realities. You can call them universes, multiverses, whatever you want. And the only thing that is constant in these is the density of matter. It's the same weight, the same amount of substance in this universe we have in all these other ones. And you can give something through the 0-point and receive something back. Okay, and that was a brilliant breakthrough, but it wasn't my breakthrough. I was led through a series of learning exercises through hard work, due diligence, a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, and, you know, ultimately to learn these teachings that, you know, ultimately probably have been around for a long time. Maybe we just forgot. And, you know, it's my time to kind of bring these through with some products, and all the products, by the way, will represent past, present, and future. It's ancient knowledge.
That's what I was going to say.
Together in state-of-the-art technology, metallurgy, fabrication processes, and everything is in a futuristic design. Okay, now. So how did the ideas come to me? Well, you know what? I earned them. I really did. I worked very hard.
It's good information for people because it's a gift, but unless you take the action to use that gift, nothing's going to come out of it. I mean, it doesn't just fall in your lap like you know, a money bag or you know, something special. It just shows up and it just turns your life into gold. It doesn't work that way. You've got to take the action steps.
The only stupid idea is the only one you don't take action with.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is.
I mean, I've learned that same thing.
You know,
the universe offers you something and you say no, there it goes, it's gone. But if you say yes, as scared as you can be, and you walk through that door will open for you, and then you take that step. You take that one leap of faith on, okay, I'm going to just give this a shot. That's what I.
And you know, that's the honest truth.
It's all about courage and just saying, you know what have I got to lose? Really, you got to say to yourself, what have I got to lose here?
Yeah, here's another one. You know,
so let's go this way.
As humans, we spend our entire lives keeping ourselves inside a box. And when something stresses us out, we build our walls a little thicker and a little higher. Your entire life, everything you know is in the confines of that box. Well, you know what? The magic happens outside the box.
Yes.
And what you're constantly being bombarded with and dumbed down to the fact that if you have the capacity to step outside your box, you have the infinite love of all the universe to hold you up. And it absolutely will. No questions asked. You don't even have to ask the question, but you have to want it.
I've heard you do have to ask the question.
No.
That's what I've learned. If you don't ask, they don't give. This is a free will planet, so you've got to ask first, and then they can bring it to you. So somehow you're asking, and it's coming through. I mean, you may not have given the perfect question, but you're asking, and it's coming through. So that's just my understanding. I mean, I could be right or wrong, but it's just my understanding of universal law and how we were on our.
There's many understandings about how stuff works.
Of course.
None of it is wrong.
It's just how you interpret it, really, how you interpret it.
Exactly. And, ultimately I'm just here to do my part, and that's what I'm doing.
Which has been amazing because you talk about, I know your software, your very first development was the Aquaware. And that's what you just, I mean, that's like your ultimate baby. And that you're moving into something brand new, I know, in 2019. And I was checking it out and figuring out, but I know there's 7 days that you can do that and try it. And I haven't done that yet, so I would like to. But you could tell people a little bit more about your Aquaware, because that's like your initial product that you brought out.
So, you notice I did the water blessing. Well, that
Yes, which is
just wasn't
beautiful.
by, an apple fell on my head. Um, the first 10 years into my venture, I developed software based on quantum principles.
Hmm.
And, you programming water has been around since time immemorial, and people have been programming water forever. It's not something new. It's very ancient, but it's kind of new today. So Dr. Emoto blazed this whole trail.
Hmm.
Brilliant Japanese researcher, passed a few years
Oh,
back.
guess what? I actually met him. He came to West Hartford, Connecticut.
Wow.
He was in the town hall doing a big event, and I literally went up and shook his hand. He signed my book, and it was pretty amazing because I was just, wow, we're having Dr. Emoto in West Hart. I couldn't miss that. It was just incredible. And he was a very, very nice guy, very into talking to people, very willing to share. And of course, he's brilliant with what he, taught.
Absolutely brilliant. I had the opportunity to interview his personal assistant,
Uh-huh.
Shantini LeRae, a couple times, and she's a brilliant woman as well.
Hmm.
So, based on his work, that he proved beyond the shadow of a doubt that you can change the structure of water based on, frequencies going through it. Well, I'm in the midst of this wake up experience, and I'm like, I know that I can capture the frequency of anything I want in existence.
Hmm.
And I know now I can put it in the water, but how can I do that? I can build a beautiful software program, but how can I put it in the water, even if it's next to the computer, maybe on the other side of the planet? And then it hit me. It was a quantum realm. Quantum realm, as you're intuitive, is very, very simple. It's a place where space, time, and distance don't exist. If we're all energy and everything is made up of energy, we're all interconnected. That interconnectedness is the quantum realm. And where you set your attention, you can place an intention. So, but people were like, well, why would you use software? And I said, well, that's a great question. I said, here's a glass of water. Put the
Yeah,
intention of love in there.
right.
Oh, I can't do it anymore. Did you actually change anything? Well, it still tastes the same. No, and
Right.
I'll tell you why. When you use the power of the microprocessor, it does one instruction set 100 million times faster than your mind can, and
Mm.
you can place that anywhere you want. That's where the magic happens. And I was very effective at developing this quantum based software that does exactly that. And there it is. So Aquaware today sports over 1,000 pre-canned intentions. It has many, many advanced features, and that's one software. Then we have the Source 5, which is all about manifestation. Then we have the 12th Project, which is all about virtual and physical chakras. Then we have Light Body, which is about fat loss and body toning. Then we have Navitus, which is all about high energy, which is completely free, and I just give that away. So, the software has been around and been developed for a long time. Uh, the current iterations are a year and a half, 2 years old, and at some point I will upgrade it again when I'm in that frame of mind. I'm just not there yet. So
Yeah, well, you're waiting for the enlightenment. It's sort of like you get enlightened to move to the next level. It's like it's time. Like maybe we're ready for it too. You're getting the message, and you're like, okay, you're the precursor. You're the one bringing it through, and maybe you're getting humanity ready for it. So that's what you keep doing. You keep bringing it to humanity to help us raise the consciousness, and you're changing people's frequency patterns in such a way that they can now achieve, health and happiness and even financial freedom. It's pretty outstanding that, that can happen.
yeah,
Yeah. And so my little I am pyramids, I'd love you to tell people about this. Do you know why? Because it's solid, tool. And to me, that was the first thing that attracted me. I had to have them immediately. As soon as I saw your site, I'm like, oh, pyramid
So
there.
the I am pyramids were, I was given basically the green light to take the power of the I am and marry it to the power of a pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I achieved. And there are 26 different variants of the I am pyramids. There's 13 in copper, and the same 13 are delivered in bronze. And these are composite metals.
Is there a difference that you use two different metals? Why do you
Just
do
two
that?
different metals.
Copper
Yeah,
versus
just two different metals.
different
You
properties.
know, it's not this type of copper. It's a different fabrication process, which really brings down the price quite a bit.
Okay.
You still have the weight and the magic of what they do.
Yeah.
And, with the whole I am, when you invoke the words I am, you're putting all of creation on notice. Okay. The backing of everything that was, is, and will be again is facing you, right? And then you give it direction. I am love, right? So now you have a direction, and that's where most people stop. But fundamentally, do you want to drive your Ferrari on a dirt road, or do you want to drive it on the Autobahn? Well, you want to drive it on the Autobahn. So now you have a direction. You got to build the road, and the road is the mantra of I am love. And these are 13 mantras that were written over a 4 to 6 months period that ultimately, bring that into light. And then of course you have the true name symbols on all the I am pyramids, which are, just bring the power in there. And these guys, they just sit around, they activate, they use free energy, they run 24/7. It draws the energy up from the bottom, it comes in and spills over the top and activates everything. And that's what they do. That's what they do. Every device I create, okay, has no electricity and no moving parts. They're all solid, and they all use free energy. The more expensive ones are made from the purest copper and silver commercially available, to other ones that are made from wood composites, to these composites. But the one thing that holds true across whatever product line you're looking into, they're made with the best intentions. Everything I create, I do out of love. Everything.
Right. And when you connect with the I am, you're connecting with your God essence, if you want to call it that, your highest source essence, and you're bringing in, what I've understood about what we're doing in this life, like you said, nobody really knows, but some of the parts that people are saying is you're bringing in the aspects of you that are all the other aspects we haven't collected in, over the past lives. Like this is the big life that they're all coming through, that we're really collecting a lot of our mastery, that many, many masters are on the planet now. And so that's why these types of things that you're bringing through are so well received, because we're ready for it, because we're bringing in all that. And so the is a connection with that.
Part of my plan is to take all the mysticism out of spirituality and the products that are there.
Well, you're grounding it in reality, which is really good because it's tangible, especially for people that are scientifically minded, more left brain guys. Like my husband's a mechanical engineer, so he would definitely get what you're doing over than my healing.
Like I've had many left brain guys and their wives buy these products and just be completely floored and blown away by changes.
Right. That's what I mean.
Parents are in their late 70s and early 80s, right? They drive between Connecticut and Philadelphia all the time. And they drive with the New Way to Travel unit. And they don't understand how the tech works. They just know that it works. And they absolutely will not drive unless they have the device in their car. And it's the same thing. Anyone that has purchased an HFA, a New Way to Travel, once they experience how it completely shifts the paradigm of their driving experience, absolutely will not travel without one of them.
That's
absolutely won't do it.
I saw that. And you have a small version of that you can wear on your body. And you've even got a piece.
Oh, this is the mini.
Yeah, the mini. That's pretty interesting. I love that. And there's also one for pets, and people always love helping their pets.
Yeah,
And I
we got
love
the one
how
for
it
the pet.
collects.
So I didn't leave our furry friends out of it.
Right, you collect the
So,
negative
you know,
energy in there.
it's just it's where it's going. I don't know. I'm just
It's
having fun
fabulous.
doing
It's
it.
fabulous stuff. I mean, all I can say is you've brought in amazing things for people. You've given us, so much help in moving forward in our own energy and to clear things and to, just to, well, you're basically helping the whole planet when you do that because you're raising the whole consciousness of the planet. So
Yeah.
it's an amazing, job you took on. And but it just sort of fell in your lap and you said, okay, I'm
Oh, let's be
willing.
very
And
clear.
so,
It did not fall in my lap. It was my time.
well, it came into you in a way that was pretty amazing, but you didn't reject it. You stayed with it, even though it was very difficult. You stayed with it. So, you basically
It's
after a
still
while, you
difficult.
liked what was happening.
It's still
Right?
difficult. I just make it fun now.
Well, that's the best part. You say, make it fun, and you say, think unlimited. Always be unlimited. Always, just keep
When
your
you have the
mind.
potential to unlimited, when you have the potential to unlimit your thinking,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
you really truly unlimit your potential in the universe.
Absolutely. So I know you're giving us you're sharing a fantastic gift to the audience, and I'd love you to tell us a little about that.
So this is a master workshop, and master workshops that I typically do, I do in series of 6, and they're first, second, and third generations. So there would be 6 workshops that kind of support a particular theme. And I took one of the about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, we did a particular workshop, which is a master level workshop. So these are workshops that are very, very potent, and they have you taken this one yourself?
No, not yet. Nope. I'm
And
still learning about your stuff. It's
there's
pretty
a
amazing. I mean, it's mind blowing. It really is. It's mind blowing stuff.
so this particular workshop carries a pretty high retail value, but it was completely free. You can download it and you can share it and do whatever
Yes,
you want.
I saw
And it's
that.
all about freeing your blockages that keep you stuck and from moving forward. And in the workshop, we kind of teach you to identify those blockages and remove them. And it's a classic workshop that I do. We use water, sometimes sacred geometry. It's me talking for 45 minutes to an hour and a half, doing exercises, and they rock. They
Yeah,
rock.
it's wonderful. It's wonderful stuff. So I just want to tell our viewers, we'd love you to write in and tell us how you like the show, and what you've learned here. And we read all our emails. And Peter, I really want to thank you for sharing your luminous light and your fun, your humor, and your skepticism too, which I love because you're real, and you've achieved this dream of helping people on a massive scale with mind-bending products, as I said, and you still have such so much more to go, and we're just blessed by all this that you brought through. So
Thank you.
thank you for sharing your divine light, and you're helping people own theirs and to step into their authenticity and to create the life they love. So thrilled to have you here, and I'm Janet Miller, and thank you. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Thank you. Night, everyone.